Welcome back to Alistair Davies Golf. Today's video is part of the biggest mistakes series, and today is the second video in the series, and today we're talking all about the takeaway. Now, I get a lot of questions asked about the takeaway, and obviously I see a lot of students that struggle with the takeaway. So this is all about improving your takeaway and talking through the most common mistakes I see in the takeaway in the golf swing. So, what I commonly see and what commonly happens generally is two things. One, the golf club works inside straight away, or two, the hands work out and the club either works in or continues to work out. So, one for me is either a hand path issue, and the other one is just purely a rotation in the wrists issue. So, what I'd like to see really is the hand path work back on this arc, and I'd like to see your wrist stay fairly neutral. So if you imagine your right wrist here, if we said this right wrist was neutral here, and this right wrist now is obviously flexed over this side, or it's extended the back of the wrist, but we're just kind of hinging the wrist, okay? If I said to you, I wanted you to keep this wrist neutral, so zero movement, that's kind of what I want you to feel in the takeaway. Zero movement. I do, however, want the arm to fold. So this drill is quite useful, putting your lead hand on your trail elbow, feeling that fold. Now, whether the club face points parallel to the spine or toe up, I don't mind. It's a preference, and it depends on how much the arm would have to work from here to the top, depending on how we have the club face positioned. You tend to see people who have the club more down, the arm folds less early on and folds more later on, and vice versa. Hand path wise, as I said, the thing I tend to see is the hands working out. Those are the two common things. Quite often it will be caused by the setup, the arm shape not quite right at address. But what I'd like to see really from this video is if I took my address position, let my arm float here, I want to see the takeaway work back to that floating arm and the hand work into that position. And again, you'll notice here the right wrist is very neutral. Then from there we can make the backswing as normal. And again, we're going to do a video on the backswing common mistakes, so I'm not going to get too much into that. Really, this is all about controlling this hand path, making sure this gap doesn't increase, making sure these wrists don't rotate too independently. In terms of wrist cock, I don't mind whether you set it early or late. So it's a gradual cocking for me of the wrist as we go back. It's more important for me that it's in the right direction. So we get this club kind of in line with the hand at this point here, parallel to the feet as we look at it, or slightly this side. I wouldn't mind it being this side if we're going to overdo it anyway. So again, what happens when we get the golf club in here like this, we then tend to see a raise to the top and an over the top action to the golf ball. And then to make good contact with the ball, we see a lot of hang back and a lot of poor weight shifts to make things work, and a lot of flapping at the ball with our hands. So if we can get the takeaway right, it has a knock-on effect to make the swing more orthodox and less compensatory in this journey. Let's go ahead and try and hit a ball and give you the correct takeaway. So rehearse this as a little practice. Now I'm going to make this takeaway as best I can. Okay, so nice solid shot there. So rehearsing the takeaway definitely let me feel what I wanted to do in the real swing. Really encourage you to do that, and you see a lot of top players rehearsing the start of their swing. So I really encourage you to do that. The takeaway is generally the kind of first or second point of breakdown in your golf swing that causes the rest of the compensatory motion to go wrong. So we need the compensation to make you a better player. If you are in the wrong position, don't get me wrong. And again, I can show you players with a poor takeaway that play great golf. But to be consistent, to be your best, generally we need to have the takeaway in the best position. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please click like down below. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Get regular content every week on a variety of subjects. Thank you for watching, and catch you again here soon.